Hi, my name is Koji Tsukamoto, and I'm an instructor at Anim School. I teach environment modeling, and in my course, I'll cover how to make appealing professional environments. Welcome to Anim School, and I'm excited to see you in class. Yeah, most people who wanted to go into animation, they watched a lot of Disney films. They thought, oh, that's the reason why I want to go into animation. For me, I watch Ghibli films. Like I watch Disney films and I love those too. But what made me really want to go into animation was like looking at these beautiful Ghibli films with these beautiful backgrounds, environments, and wonderful stories. And that beautiful storytelling is really what made me want to go into animation. Uh, I, I wanted to be part of a story like that, right? Honestly, like when I was jumping into animation originally, I was completely clueless about anything. Like, I had no idea who any of the artists were. I was just like, it wasn't until later I learned about Ivan Earl, and I was like, oh my gosh, his stuff is amazing. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a pilot, fly planes. I wanted to be in the Air Force, and then I found out I was colorblind, and I was like, oh, I can't do it. Yeah, I remember the day I found out I couldn't become an Air Force pilot because I'm colorblind. I was like, my reaction was something like Little Miss Sunshine. I don't know if you ever seen that. The reason why I started going to anim school really was I kind of lacked confidence. I was really unsure if what I was doing was correct. Um, and even watching YouTube, there's so many YouTube videos, and half of them are not good. you know, there's a lot of like maybe they were good at the time, but like it's outdated. Yeah, I just wasn't very confident whether I was doing modeling things correctly. So I was emailing artists. That's something I do recommend doing is finding artists that you admire in the industry and just try to reach out. If they don't respond, they're probably busy. They probably get hundreds of emails. You never know, right? And which is fine. But if they do respond, then that's awesome, right? And I was lucky. There was two modelers who responded to me and gave me some feedback. But really, I felt like I needed a little bit more in-depth feedback than that. So yeah, I went to NM school where I could learn from teachers who I knew specialized in modeling, who could actually let me know if I was doing it right or not. When I actually took my courses, a lot of my teachers were asking me why I didn't skip ahead to the later classes, why I was taking the beginner courses. And um, yeah, I probably could have skipped ahead, but for me, it was a confidence building experience where I was watching and learning. There are small things here and there that I didn't know about, but really the biggest thing was to see them model, see them confirm that what I was doing was correct, right? And that helped me become more confident what I was doing. Realize that no, I'm doing okay. I'm I'm on the right track. I'm not too far off the path. So that was why I took anim school. A lot of these are just like things that I myself experienced, and again, it's just like speaking out, reaching out, talking to people. Like again, what I was saying about earlier about I felt like I need to do things myself. You know, don't do that. Um, Ask for help, reach out, get critiques. Um, uh, Really, the biggest reason why you need to do that is people need to know who you are, and if you're too introverted, like it's fine if you're an introvert, but you need to kind of step out of your bubble to make it in the industry. People need to know who you are. You need to introduce yourself. You need to show your work. Um, that's sort of what animation is. It's just showing who you are, telling a story. Uh, you know, and if you want to be a part of that, you kind of need to be able to show that you can do that. You have a story to tell. You have amazing taste in art and style, right? Um, One of the biggest surprises I had was there was a recruiter that I never met before, but I sent her my stuff. And just recently, like right before the pandemic, I ran into a recruiter and she knew who I was. And I was like, I don't know who you are. Like, who are you? And she knew who I was. Well, actually, yeah, when she told me her name, I was like, oh, yeah, you were that recruiter at that one studio. and it was pretty cool. And she remembered what I used to have on my reel, and yeah, and then she started naming classmates of mine, like asking how they were doing. Like it's pretty crazy. Um, so if you have good things, and show it, maybe not everyone will remember you, but there will be people who do remember you. And when opportunities come along, they might think of you, right? Well, I think I'm going to have to go back to LA eventually. So still expensive on that side. So yeah, it's been nice working remotely, honestly. It's been really nice just being able to kind of spend more time with family, take care of my kids. They're around me, running around. I'm a bit distracted, but what's nice about working from home too is um, when I feel distracted, I could always, like at work, I'm kind of stuck in that time I'm at work, right? Like I I'll be there for 9 hours and then I leave, and it's not like I continue working, but at home, like I could work, and if I feel distracted or not into it, I could take a break a bit and make sure I put in my hours in more effectively, right? Like I'll go back and work on it longer. So sometimes my hours at work is not exactly in the time frame that I normally work. It'll be a little bit later, and I put in that work. So I feel like I'm a little bit more productive in that sense because of that. Um, what's interesting is Netflix prior to the pandemic was kind of doing a hybrid kind of working situation already, where people will come in for meetings. They could come into work, but some people work from home um, part of the week. And there's been talk at my company of whether we might be working hybrid as well. That sounds really nice to me. I don't know, working completely remotely sounds nice too, so I could live in a cheaper place, but it is nice to see people's faces. I do really miss a lot of my coworkers. Working in the studio, it's nice to be able to just turn around, look at the guy sitting next to me, and ask a question, right? Ask for help. Nowadays, I have to chat and hope somebody sees it. Right? This is pretty extreme. I normally wouldn't tell students to model like this, but be like, this is extreme, but like, look at this. Like, you can see exactly where people keep on stepping on these stairs. There's a history. You can see that people always walk in the center. They always step in these two spots, and you can see like this indent where the feet lay. And when it rains, the water probably flows through that as well. When you're adding wear and tear, when you're adding character into your models, you have to think about, what's affecting this piece, what's rubbing up against it. We don't want it to look like it's machined, just like artificial. We want it to feel very organic and real, like it's experienced stuff, things. So that's one thing I really like showing my students. And when I have my students take the concept piece, I want them to really nail that concept piece, but I want them to add more to it, to make it feel, yeah, not just a copy of it, but to feel like an actual place, an actual set that you could see things occurring in, right? You could feel like it's something people are actually living in and interacting with, right? So that's one thing I like to kind of help my students do with their pieces, is make a piece that tells a story, draws people in and makes people think about, wonder what is this piece about, right?